Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening, rising stars. It is 9 p.m., Václav Havel International Airport, Prague, Czech Republic. And here's how the conversation goes. Who are you? I am Harpreet Singh Chhatwal. Yeah, that's all right, but you look very strange. And then you have something on your head, you are hiding something, it's a big security hazard. You cannot pass through this airport, we'll have to retain you. Who are you? This is a turban, and I am sick. If you are sick, let us call the doctor. If you are sick, let's call the doctor, and you shouldn't be traveling. Ladies and gentlemen, what did you just hear? What am I? I am sick. S-I-K, and the last letter is H. Every time, invariably, when I travel, I am questioned of my cultural identity. And in my talk today, I will share with you my experiences of how I have broken certain stereotypes, established cultural identities, and created win-win solutions. Sikhism is the 5th largest religion in the world and the 3rd largest in India, where we are 1 billion people today. A very fundamental of the religion mandates that we are not allowed to trim our facial hair and also the hair on our heads. And as a respect to the hair on our heads, we always keep it covered, and thus the Sikh turban. In 50 out of 70 countries that I have visited so far, invariably I am asked to explain my identity and my appearance. And every time when I say I am sick, I am asked to consult a doctor. Whilst I do not blame the ignorance of the officers, but my objective here today is to communicate to the world that I am sick and I am not sick. One common element which you and I have today is that we all face challenges, we all face adversities, and my ideas today could become your idea as well. From being singled out at every international airport, from the immigration officers asking me to see the officer in the backyard, from being asked to pay some extra dollars if you want to get out of the airport in the right fashion, and so on and so forth. I have experienced it all. From my friends commenting to me, okay, you're going to take 3 hours to exit the airport. We are very tired. All right, there we go. We are going back to the hotel. And from seeing them whizzing through the exit immigration gates, I am not mad at any one of them. I am not mad at any one of them. In fact, I wish I could whiz through those gates too. And I also wish that all the jokes that are made, although I also laugh at them at times, but deep inside, I wish the subject of those jokes never existed in the first place. Invariably at the international airports, I'm always asked to take off my turban. And when I refuse, I'm summoned to a senior officer for further examination and further review. And this goes on from one airport to the other and to the other. And that's what I've been experiencing in my international travel for the last 22 years. And now what I have done is, every time when I travel, I take 2 extra hours for my airport commute time. And then I also carry a PowerPoint presentation with me, both in a soft and a hard format, which looks something like this, to show them notable Sikh personalities to establish my own cultural identity. And here you will see some of them. Mr. Banga is the president of the World Bank today. Dr. Manmohan Singh, our very own ex-Prime Minister of India. Milkha Singh, who was termed as the flying Sikh in sports, and I'm sure you will all be able to relate to this one because he's performing live on 9th of November in Abu Dhabi, Etihad Arena. Don't forget to be there. He hasn't given me any commissions though. Now, that's what I've been doing. I've been using these individuals to establish my own cultural identity, and sometimes I still continue to do so. At the airports, the other thing, something very interesting that happens with me is what I want to share with each one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to do a little exercise for me? Can you please scratch your heads? Wonderful. You are a great audience. Thank you. That was easy, right? Now let me scratch my head too. Well, not that easy, but I'm not complaining. I'm very proud of it. And now let me introduce to you this so-called perceived weapon that every male Sikh gentleman across the world would carry with him. For what? To do what I just asked you to do, and to also tidy up the beautiful Sikh turban that we wear. However, either deposit this at the airport or you are detained. So what did I do? I was eating Chinese food in a Chinese restaurant once, and I came across this chopstick, which is made of wooden. So the substitute of this metal instrument, which in our terminology we call as barge, I substituted this with a chopstick. So I tried to create a win-win solution wherein the officer keeps his duty and I keep my identity. From being singled out at every airport, trying to scrutinize my passport, my travel documents, and each and every itinerary or every document that I'm carrying, the officers don't spare any moment to put me in a difficult condition and trying to implicate me on some pretext or the other. And so far, they haven't been successful. However, now I do not fret and fume, but the hours and hours that they take, I pick up a book and start reading. And in the last 5 years, I have added 100 hours of reading to my intellectual acumen. And I have also lived up to the Sikh tenet of Sikhna, which is to keep learning. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sharing these experiences on my behalf, but at the same time, what did I do here? Every time I've tried to step out of the situation, analyze it more logically, and then look at what the core issue is. Increase logic, decrease emotion. If you get emotional, if you start arguing, if you start shouting, that doesn't help the cause at all. Keeping the emotion under control and thinking with a rational mind. Kindle understanding by showing them pictures of notable Sikh personalities like me. I'm not that notable though, in order to establish my own cultural identity. Harness a win-win solution. A wooden chopstick instead of a metal barge. So that's what I've been doing to establish my own cultural identity. I know in this world which is very insecure and which is very radical today, we have to follow SOPs and procedures. But why not make a sincere effort to show kindness? Why not make a sincere effort to understand world cultures and religions? And why not make a sincere effort and visibly demonstrate that we are really interested to understand your side of the story? I know I am from a developing country which is rapidly changing, and India today arguably is the biggest talent exporter to the world. I am advocating my own cultural identity here, but my dear friends, I am your voice, because somewhere, every hour, every minute, each one of us is being judged for our language, for our culture, for our accent, for our food, for the way we dress. I'm not only me, I'm your voice. And my identity is not my obstacle. My identity is my power. I am the world you see, you are the world I see, and we are the community. We are the community. I am not asking for the current system to invent a new reality. I am only asking the current system to embrace our current reality. My turban is not my limitation and doesn't decide my capability, nor does your ethnicity decide your capability, but the value that we add. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Sat Shri Akal.